Hello, and welcome to Empower with Nancy's podcast. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about the key to building a strong team within an organization. And what does that look like? I want to talk to you about the three C's of team building. And those three C's are communication, collaboration, commitment, and creativity. And let's talk a little bit about each and every one of them. Communication is key to establish a clear expectation and goals within your team. Communication is open communication when things that you need to talk about, things that you feel that are not going the way it needs to go, or communicating when there's a problem, communicating if you don't understand your current roles or projects that you're currently working on, and not putting it underneath the rug and not communicating with one another. Communication of getting certain projects done within the department or within the organization and communicating with one another to get the job done. Collaboration is definitely essential to ensure that all team members are working together to achieve what? The best results. That they're working together to get the job done and making sure that they collaborate with upper management and their co-workers on a consistent basis. Commitment is important to ensure that everyone is on the same page and they're dedicated to their team's success. Commitment is to get the job done, setting the goals, working together to achieve the end result. Committed within yourself, commitment within an organization, commitment within your team, commitment to get the job done. And creativity. It's necessary to help the team come up with solutions to any problems that they may face, or solutions for something that they see that they could do better, and facing the problems and errors that they make and figuring out how to fix it, and making sure that the entire team knows if one team member makes a mistake within the same department and they're doing the same roles, then it needs to be shared to make sure, not shared that someone made a mistake, but shared to making sure that everyone understands that they don't make that same mistake moving forward, because we all learn from our mistakes. It's important that the management team has and understands everyone's responsibilities, their roles, making sure that all the team members get along with one another, that you're constantly having weekly team meetings to help collaborate and to motivate and inspire, making sure that the managers are working with their team to feel valued and that they are feeling that they're participating in the growth of the organization. And they all work together to figure out situations to one, either making sure that they reach their goal, and if they didn't reach their goal, why they didn't reach their goal, and hearing what every team member has to say, and having the team members work along each other when someone comes up with an idea to be maybe more efficient, as an example, within a certain process. And that particular member brings it up to their manager. And a manager says, nope, I don't want to do it. It's my way or the highway. No, the manager should hear what the team member has to say. And if needed, that you bring up the idea amongst the rest of the team and you guys talk about it together to come up with a solution so that everyone is part of the change. Making sure that every team member is recognized and that I feel that it's important to have every employee take an assessment test, a personality assessment test. That personality assessment test is actually a fun test. I've always given that to my employees because it helps you understand about yourself. It helps you understand how to communicate with your team members and how to, understand them from time to time. And at the end of the day, you share that assessment with one another so they know the type of person that you are. So that they have a conversation and need to bring something up to you that, let's say a team member makes a mistake and the manager's like, how am I going to bring this up to this person? Because I know this person is very sensitive. They're hard on themselves. And how am I going to approach to them that they made a mistake? If you knew exactly how your employee is, starting by that personality assessment test and understanding how that employee works, their strengths, their weaknesses, identifying what that is, you'll know how to approach that employee. The other thing I want to talk about is having teams work and doing fun activities. Maybe do a quarterly fun activity to get everyone involved so they get to really know each other. Most companies nowadays, a lot of companies are working remote. Some are working in the office, but either way, in the office or remote, that on a quarterly basis, you do a team building activity. It could be bowling. It could be, maybe a game night at the office. It could be, there's just so many team building activities that you can do. It is super important to build that. I think every employee needs to feel that when they wake up in the morning to go to work, that they're excited about going to work. And if they're not excited, the manager needs to know why. It's crucial to ask all of your team members, the managers, to ask their team member is, do you feel fulfilled and do you feel empowered? Ask those two questions. If they don't feel fulfilled and they don't feel empowered, find out why. You'll learn a lot from asking those two questions. Then we'll trickle to the rest of the team and figuring out to make sure that the rest of the team feels the same way. I like to have and do surveys within the organization and outside the organization. And what I mean about within the organization is doing surveys about their experience that they have with their coworkers. And so that once that survey is done, it goes to executives and management, and they look at what are some of these concerns that the coworkers have. It's not about getting anybody in trouble. You can choose to put your name on that or not. However, it's to making sure that you understand the organization, the situations, the concerns, and how to build a strong team. I can go on and on and on about how to build a strong team. However, I don't want to do that, and I want to be able to give you some information that is vital, and hopefully that you enjoyed some of the information that I had discussed, and maybe take it amongst your manager or executive and or team, or even reaching out to me to help with an organization. I think that every organization should have a mentor and coach looking outside in. I've done that for a couple of companies I worked for where I hired a coach and just to work with the executive team and management. And it was very, very powerful because they look at it as though I'm not coming here on a day-to-day grind every single day to come to work, that they are being heard to work with one another at the executive and management level. And I also extended it to a one-on-one coaching session that was private. And it goes to show you that the organization cares about their employees, that they don't treat them as a number. I think that is extremely important to any organization. I hope this finds you well and you have a phenomenal day. Until my next podcast, have a wonderful day.